Straight ahead on 12 News, a local school district planning for overdue maintenance.
They're, as you might imagine, 1960s technology, so they're needing to be upgraded.
Then, a place to enjoy the best produce Minnesota has to offer. But first, an update on lumber used in some big local projects. 12 News starts right now.
Hello and thanks for joining us. The contractor in charge of building a luxury apartment complex in Golden Valley has been fired by the property owner.
Golden Villas terminated its contract with Big D Construction this morning over the use of lumber that failed to meet fire safety standards. And Delane Cleveland joins us now with more on that. Delane?
Mike and Alex, the issue emerged when building inspectors discovered that lumber being used at the Hello Apartments had not been treated with fire retardant materials. That created a safety hazard and as such resulted in code violations.
We lost confidence and trust, and we needed to make a hard decision for the project to make sure that our safety requirements and all of the specifications to build this project were met.
Tracy Thomas of Golden Villas LLC made the announcement today regarding the future of this 172-unit apartment along Highway 55 in Golden Valley. Thomas said that the code violation involves 2x8 lumber in the exterior wall panels of the building. All of those panels will be removed and replaced. The violation happened under the watch of Utah-based Big D Construction, and because Big D wasn't able to come up with a solution that met her standards, she decided to move forward with a new contractor. Minnesota-based Frana Companies will take over construction, and they happen to be building another complex right down the street from the Hello Apartments.
I'm very confident moving forward with Frana Companies to bring this project into full compliance and exactly as specified.
As for what happens next, Frana Companies will have to submit plans to Golden Valley as to how they're going to correct the problem. Once city engineers review and approve the plan, they'll give them the go-ahead to move forward. Thomas expects Frana to be on the site Monday. The apartments were supposed to open December 31st, but no word yet on what sort of delay this will cause. Mike?
All right, thank you. The Osseo School District is making plans to tackle some major improvements at schools next summer.
Many of the buildings are in need of upgrades that have simply been put off too long. Reporter Shannon Slatton explains what to expect and how the district plans to pay for it.
They require a lot of maintenance.
The boilers in the bowels of Osseo Middle School have been here since before Neil Armstrong walked on the moon.
These are the two boilers that service this building, Osseo Middle School, and they're the original to the building.
When this breaks, it's hard to find the parts to fix it because they aren't even made anymore.
We've maintained them over the years and done as much as we can do to keep them up and running. They're, as you might imagine, 1960s technology, so they're needing to be upgraded.
These boilers are just one of the items on a lengthy list of maintenance needs that the Osseo School District plans to fix.
It's a 10-year plan that would help us catch up with a lot of the deferred maintenance pieces that we haven't had the finances to do in the past.
To fund these improvements, the district plans to tap into state-approved funding sources to raise more than $200 million over 10 years. When the plan is launched, the typical $250,000 home will pay $39 additional a year, or $325 per month.
All the 31 buildings in the district, we've looked at them all. And, you know, honestly, all of them have needs.
After the 10-year plan is completed, the district will need to continue to invest $20 million per year in deferred maintenance to keep the buildings in good working order.
Looking to improve not only the operational efficiency of them, but also the energy efficiency.
In Osseo, Shannon Slatton, 12 News.
If all goes according to schedule, the project will begin in the summer of 2017. The latest school testing numbers show stubborn achievement gaps still persist.
State officials say it is disappointing to see the slow pace of progress, and they're calling for more access to quality child care and early education. Statewide, 61% of students in grades 3 through 8 were proficient in math in the Minnesota Comprehensive Assessment Test. That's down 1 point from last year. And the achievement gap between students of color and white students closed only slightly. In reading, 60% of those who took the test were proficient. That's up 1 point from last year. Locally, in the Robbinsdale School District, 39 were proficient in math, 39%, and 49% in reading. And in the Osseo School District, students continued to show slow improvement with 54% proficient in math and 57% in reading. But some individual schools are showing some bigger gains, like Parkbrook Elementary. 48% of students met the math standard, which is an 11 percentage point increase. The school has worked to incorporate exercise and movement into everyday teaching.
New Hope is proposing an increase in utility franchise fees to help pay for fixing streets. Citizens will have a chance to be heard on that topic next month. And New Hope has adopted an aggressive pavement management plan to improve streets and infrastructure. They're proposing raising the franchise fees on gas and electricity customers. For residential customers, it would go up from $1.50 a month for each utility to $3. A public hearing on the proposed increases has been set. That date is August 22nd.
In Plymouth, it was a chance to learn about candidates running in next month's primary for the Minnesota Supreme Court. The 3 statewide candidates outlined their philosophies at a forum sponsored by the League of Women Voters.
What I believe an associate justice must have and what's required to sit on this court and handle those kinds of complex legal issues is a very broad, diverse, and deep legal background and an understanding of appellate practice and procedure.
My judicial philosophy would be, I would say, libertarian, individual rights, emphasis on property rights.
I believe that we need some reform in our courts, in our lower courts, that right now too many judges in lower courts are getting away with too much and not following the law.
One of the most closely watched congressional races this fall is in our area. The candidates running for Congress in Minnesota's 3rd District will meet in a debate next month. The Twin West Chamber of Commerce announced today the Republican incumbent Eric Paulson and DFL State Senator Terry Bonoff will face off on August 17th at a debate that will focus on issues important to business. It'll be held at the Marriott in Minnetonka.
The Crystal Shopping Center is filling back up after businesses such as Michael's and a Hallmark store moved out. Crystal City leaders cut the ribbon on Phoenix Salon Suites. That's the latest business to open in the shopping center. Planet Fitness will also open in the spot where Michael's used to be. And the Robbinsdale School District is leasing 43,000 square feet on the west side of the shopping center for adult education programs.
We really strive to bring what the community demands to the shopping center. So with Robbinsdale area schools, that's not a typical use for a retail property, but that's what works here. And the Crystal wanted an education program, and they have it.
The developer also plans to open a new standalone retail development in the parking lot near Target. Coming up, the best part about summer in Minnesota, food fresh from the farm.
And in sports, 3 local teams are set for the State Division I American Legion baseball tournament.
But first, it's your AccuWeather forecast. We'll be right back.
Well, summer in Minnesota, and there is nothing like fresh, locally grown produce.
That is why the red and white tents are up in downtown Osseo. For more than 40 years, Dean's has sold fresh produce for 3 days during the summer. There are fresh berries, fruits, and locally grown vegetables. One of the most popular items is corn from the nearby Fishbach farm. The sale has grown since the first year when produce went up on card tables on the sidewalk.
The community loves it. I mean, we do this every year. They're always asking, when's the produce sale? When are you having your big tent sale? So, yeah, they love it.
By the way, the corn is $3.99 per dozen. A New Hope resident has a garden so big that she has a sale in the spring.
Diane Sather also gives away a lot of plants. Reporter Sonia Goins goes in the garden to show us one spectacular landscape.
You can't tell by the high hedge, but step on the other side and you'll see a perennial paradise.
Just a lot of things.
Diane Sather doesn't have to cross the ocean to see an English garden. She's got it right here.
Every morning there's a surprise. I mean, you know, something that opened up that wasn't open yesterday.
Hydrangeas, lilies, hostas, and a variety of wildflowers make up the front garden.
It's called cup plant. That's a wildflower that likes to be like a moist area. And it forms, the leaves join like this, so there's a little cup that will get water from the rain, and the birds and the bees can get water.
The avid gardener has lived in her New Hope home for more than 40 years. She says the garden started with a small plot and grew into something much more. You're not kidding. Check out the backyard.
You see these landscape yards that everything's perfect. One plant here, one plant there, and it's all, but that's not me. It's all muddled together.
Tiger lilies, daylilies, and a host of other eye-popping perennials make a grand statement.
This is allium related to the onion family.
How many different varieties of flowers is anyone's guess?
I have no idea. I've never counted.
And speaking about variety.
This is mullein. It was brought over by the colonists and it was used for toilet paper because it's so soft.
Even though she had back surgery this winter, Diane still spends an average of 2 hours, if not more, working to perfect her garden. She says this is where she finds peace and relaxation.
It just is beautiful. Makes me happy.
In New Hope, Sonia Goins, 12 News.
You can see why Diane won New Hope's Rave Garden Award in 2012. Well, coming up, they're ready for a weekend of fun at Becker Park in Crystal.
But first, defending champion Wayzata will take a shot at repeating as state American Legion champions. John Jacobson has sports coming up next.
The Champlin Park Legion baseball team came back through the losers bracket to win the Sub-State 9 title. Jason Malolo caught up with them as they get ready for this weekend's state tournament.
When the Champlin Legion baseball team needs to win, it finds a way to win.
They got their saying, we don't fold, and they definitely didn't fold.
The Rebels played their way back through the losers bracket in the Sub-State playoffs, ultimately winning the tournament and advancing to state.
I mean, the whole year people have come through and just stepped up in their spot. If we need a base hit to start an inning, somebody will come up and get a base hit. It's just buying in the team play.
Most of the boys on the Legion team played for Champlin Park High School this spring, and there is a bit of unfinished business. The Rebels advanced to the Class 4A state title game, but lost to Wayzata.
We really wanted to come back, make it to state for Legion, and maybe even play Wayzata and get some revenge on them too.
This is also the last time a lot of these guys will ever play together, which added to their motivation this summer.
We all wanted one more crack at it, and I think that's what helped us in the Sub-State, losing that game to Coon Rapids. Nobody wanted to go home yet. Nobody wanted to lose this like friendship. So we just dug deep, kept fighting, and here we are with another chance to go win a state championship. And there's nobody I'd rather do it with than these guys.
We want to end out with a bang like we did with the high school season. We went pretty far, we did pretty good there, and we want to do the same thing and accomplish the same goals here in Legion.
Champlin faces Eastview in its first round game on Friday morning. Jason Malillo, 12 Sports.
And that game will be played at Irish Stadium in Maple Lake at 10 a.m. on Friday. Wayzata is back to defend its state Legion title. Here's Jay Wilcox with more on them.
For many of the guys on the Wayzata Legion team, it's one last chance to go out with a bang. They won the Legion title a year ago, the Class 4A high school title in June, and the Tough Gopher Classic in July.
We've been on an incredible run. We just keep winning. I guess a lot of them too have gone like late inning kind of heroics that have come from batters all 1 through 9 in the lineup. So that's been really fun to see everyone's success. But yeah, it's been kind of crazy to be a part of.
Wayzata carries a record of 34-2 into the state tournament. They were challenged by Hopkins in Sub-State 4, losing once and then needing to rally late in the title game. It was a good reminder that nothing's guaranteed.
And we've been reminded of that with like Hopkins. They just last Friday they beat us, and it opened our eyes. Like we're not unbeatable. We can still lose these games. And back in the high school season when Maple Grove did that to us, it really opened our eyes, and we won every game from there. So maybe it was a good thing.
The state tournament is a compact 4-day event. One thing that makes Wayzata confident, they definitely don't lack pitching depth.
Guys who never pitched during the varsity season are
coming in with, ERAs under 1 or even 0. So that's never really been a worry of ours this summer, is who's going to throw.
We'll see if Wayzata can add another title to an impressive run. Jay Wilcox, 12 Sports.
Wayzata's state opener is against Fairmont at 1 p.m. Friday in Loretto. Maple Grove is the third local team playing in the State Legion tournament. It's a club that took a hard road to get there.
Top seed Maple Grove lost its first Sub-State 11 tournament game in extra innings to Rogers. That put the team in a tough spot if they hope to get back to the state tourney.
I can honestly say after I left Wednesday night that I was a little scared about the whole rest of the weekend because we knew we had 54 innings to get through, and we weren't sure that we had enough pitching depth.
We had some good kids that don't usually pitch as much, and they came out and did well for us. So that was really good for us to be able to come back and win those 6 games after losing the first one. So
the kids stayed committed to the playbook, which was to play great defense, throw strikes, and then stay patient at the plate. And we did a really good job on everybody's part.
Now it's on to state for the second straight year, where Maple Grove will try to erase the memory of a double-digit run loss in the opening round of the 2015 tournament.
Absolutely. We know that's just not who we are, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna make a run for it this year.
Most of these guys were on the high school team that reached the state tournament in June. It's a tight group. The last go-around as teammates for some of them.
I've been playing ball with these guys since we were 10 years old, and it's really grown into a good friendship, and I think that's kind of what helps us develop as a team and keep pounding away when we got this chemistry that's been there for so many years.
Maple Grove plays Delano, the host team for this year's tournament, Friday at 1 o'clock in Delano. So good luck to all of those teams, and we'll have highlights and a recap of the first day Friday starting at 4.
Okay, thanks, John. We'll be right back.
It's a fun carnival atmosphere in Crystal this weekend.
And the annual Crystal Frolics celebration begins Thursday night. Earlier today, the carnival and food tents were getting set up. They've been doing this every year since the late 1950s, and it is definitely a place to bring the whole family.
People think of it as a class reunion. It's a hometown reunion. This is where you go to see everybody. You've got softball tournament, you got beanbag tournament, carnival, fireworks, 5K, food booths that are run by local service organizations to raise money for their organizations.
And remember, if you're going to the carnival and you're under the age of 18, you must be with a parent or guardian after 4 p.m. Also tonight, there will be polka. The Bill Conkar Polka Band will be on stage. If you buy a button, you can win a prize and, of course, help fund the Crystal Frolics.
I understand there's also a Dunk the Mayor booth, which could be kind of fun.
That might be fun. She's a good sport, or he's a good sport, I should say. That's all the news for us. Thanks so much for joining us.
And we'll see you back here again Friday starting at 4.